Graham Watson, Liberal Democrat MEP for the South West. In the aftermath of the flooding in your region, is there anything that Europe can do to help?
There is certainly things that Europe can do to help, and I have written, along with others, to Owen Paterson, asking him to apply for funding under the European Union Solidarity Fund. This is a fund that exists for major disasters like this. It helped communities on the Danube and the Elbe rivers in the flooding they've had in recent years. There's some 400 million available in the fund for 2014, and I think we should be seeking support from that fund.
And what kind of money is this for? Well, how can it be used in the constituency if indeed the South West applies and gets it?
It was used some years ago in the constituency in my last mandate for Gloucestershire, when we applied for funding to help communities that have been badly hit in Gloucestershire, and it's used essentially to help with the costs of the clean-up. And of course these fall on businesses, they fall on local authorities, they fall on individuals, even though for individuals to benefit individually it has to be something organised by local government. But clearly it is money designed to help any member state deal with a major unforeseen calamity of this kind. And Britain has as much right to draw down from it as any other country.
You mentioned, for example, local authorities there. If the money isn't forthcoming from Europe or the bid doesn't go in, what kind of impact could that have at a local level on, for example, local councils?
Well, of course, it depends on how much central government decides to contribute to the cost of the clean-up. But it seems to me crazy not to apply for money that is there, available to member states, as part of one of the benefits of our being in the European Union, to help out in situations like this.
And you mentioned the Environment Secretary. What's the process involved in applying for this fund?
This is a process which involves national government making an application to the European Commission for drawdown from this fund. It's used very regularly across the continent when there are problems like this. But what I would say is I think we also have to look to the medium and longer terms about how we stop this kind of thing happening again. Because with the impact of climate change that we are already seeing, this kind of thing, sadly, will become a more regular occurrence. And we need to be working to mitigate the impact of climate change by investing in our region in effective water management schemes. And that might mean, for example, going to the European Investment Bank, looking for a loan of £50 million or whatever is needed for this, getting together the local economic partnerships with South West Water, possibly Wessex Water and others, working together to make sure that when there is heavy rainfall, it can be better managed.
And I understand in this particular case with a fund like this, there is a window of opportunity for applying. There's 10 weeks from when the fund, the disasters first strike, really, to apply. So there's a matter of urgency here, isn't there?
Well, there certainly is a matter of urgency, and I hope the government will be taking up my suggestion and applying for support from the Solidarity Fund. But I hope, too, that they won't leave it at that they will recognise that there's a longer-term challenge involved in dealing with the effects of climate change and working to mitigate them, to make sure that when there are extreme weather events, we are better prepared.